Hi, guys. Oh my goodness, you're so ferocious. Should I just be terrified of you?
Alright. Second video of the day. Horner and Marco, Spicy Kitten Horner. I mean, they've been talking. Now, Horner, his take is not as hot. His take is the expected. I mean, his take should be something that's expected later this season. Marco, he got quite a hot take, but we can brush it off as a bit of a joke or any of that. But a lot of truth is said in jest, so it's probably worthwhile to investigate what's underlying Marco's comments in tandem with Christian Horner's comments. Alright? Helmut Marco, he made a joke when he was quizzed on Max Verstappen lapping Lewis Hamilton, right? He made a joke. Okay, I'm just gonna chalk it up as a joke. It's an opportunistic joke, but a joke. And he said, maybe Sir Lewis Hamilton, he should have retired last year. Now, I'm in agreement that he should have retired simply because F1 don't deserve him. Alright, we'll disagree on the reason, me and Marco, but I'm in agreement that he should have retired. Alright, this F1 thing, it don't deserve this man. He's beyond this shit. He's far beyond this shit. But here's Marco with the quote, maybe he should have stopped last year, he is thinking. Maybe. That is very wishful thinking from Marco. Okay, and Marco, he's too smart for this stuff, I can't just give him benefit of the doubt. That is very optimistic thinking from Marco. What he's saying is he really wishes Lewis Hamilton retired just so that this whole Abu Dhabi thing, this whole stolen championship thing, it wouldn't be a narrative. That's fundamentally what he's saying. Because now you've got Verstappen lapping Sir Lewis Hamilton at this Imola Grand Prix, and whoa, it's the news cycle for the whole week. That's the news cycle for the week. That's what everyone's talking about. That's what everyone's talking about. Oh, Lewis Hamilton. Oh, Max Verstappen. Oh, the Mercedes. Is it that bad? Oh, Russell finished in fourth. Blah, blah, blah. That's the whole news cycle now. That's the news cycle for this week, maybe even next week. I don't know. It depends. Here's the thing. Marco, he's smart enough to know that he doesn't need these type of stories making the rounds. Alright, he doesn't need this. Marco is aware of that. He doesn't need this. Red Bull doesn't need this. Because it doesn't serve them. For these narratives to be unearthed again. It doesn't serve them at all. Maybe Marco is aware of some situations at the factory in regards to employee motivation in light of this Abu Dhabi scandal. Right? Maybe he's aware. Maybe. I can probably afford him that much credit. This is a smart man. But do not read this at face value, right? Do not read Marco's statement at face value here. Maybe he should have stopped last year. Maybe, right? Do not read that at face value. What Marco is saying is, I wish he stopped last year, so that even if a Mercedes was being lapped, it wouldn't be the news cycle for the week, because now I have to manage the factory. Right, this is Marco, now he has to manage the factory. He has to go and make sure everyone there is fully motivated. No one's rattled by the news, by the footage. He really has to do that. And now let's compare what Marco is saying with what Spicy Kitten Horner is saying, right? And he ain't been spicy. He ain't been spicy at all this week. I probably should renege on calling him Spicy Kitten Horner for this week. But I give a fuck about it. Marco covered the spice. so it's a Spicy Kitten video. It's a Spicy Kitten video right here. But Christian Horner, he's stated the obvious. You see, Christian Horner's actually being sensible now, right? These men, they take turns doing the stupidness. These men, Horner and Marco, they take turns doing the stupidness. And Horner might have even made a slip here. I mean, we'll delve into that. But here's the quote. Horner was asked if he was astonished by Hamilton's woes. Horner replied, "He obviously had a horrible weekend, but he is still an 8-time world champ." Horner said it here. I didn't say this. Horner said this. I'm gonna actually have to put the Spicy Kitten on this shit for real now. Now it's a Spicy Kitten tape. But anyway, Horner, he obviously had a horrible weekend, but he is still an 8-time world champion. 7-time. I forgot Nico Rosberg won. Oh, really? Rosberg? Really? The championship that, had less question marks about it than 2021? That's the one he's going for? Okay. Okay, Spice Horner. It's okay. It's okay. Let's hear what else you got to say. He hasn't forgotten how to drive in the last 4 races, so at some point they will sort their issues out and he will become a factor. But obviously the young guys are doing a great job. Horner, he plays it so difficult, man. Now I gotta give him credit, but at the same time, we're gonna address this 8-time, 7-time. We're gonna address this maybe in a different video. But he's right. So Lewis Hamilton hasn't forgotten how to drive in the last 4 races. Matter of fact, one of the last 4 races was Bahrain. So he was demonstrably quicker than George Russell there. Demonstrably, frankly. Let me not say it wasn't close. It was close. But he was demonstrably quicker than George Russell there. Alright, that's part of the last 4 races. After that, I say he's either lacking motivation or he perhaps is just running all sorts of random tests on the car because they are just running testing sessions functionally. So he hasn't forgotten how to drive in the last 4 races, so at some point they will sort out their issues and he will become a factor. But obviously the young guys are doing a great job. What does Horner mean by he'll become a factor? He means whatever Mercedes do in regards to their car, whether they ditch this zero pods concept or they figure out, they unlock the zero pods concept, whatever they do, they are going to be a factor later on in the year. And who do you think it's more likely that they actually work to take points off of? Who do you think is more likely? I mean, last year we saw drivers like jumping out the way of Verstappen. Oh, Verstappen's behind me. Jump out the way. Let me just let him through. Hopefully he'll stop Lewis Hamilton getting that 8th. Lewis Hamilton comes up behind them and suddenly they all turn into Alonso at Hungary. You know? Now, which way do you think that's going to fall this season between Leclerc and Verstappen? Well, the Mercedes boys have a chance to run some race interference on either Leclerc or Verstappen. One's in a Ferrari, the other's in a Red Bull. Who do you think they're going to run interference on? It's not going to be Leclerc. I mean, Leclerc, his record is spotless. His record is literally spotless. He has no license points. He has no license points, this Leclerc guy. Verstappen, by contrast, well, there's the whole of last season. So, we're going to see just how good a wingman Sergio Perez is, because he's going to be given the task of, fending off a resurgent Mercedes team. He'll be given that task. And you know what? If Verstappen ever has to claw his way through the field in order to get a result, and he comes across and he finds himself behind some Mercs who have unlocked their car, he might be there all race, right? He might be cosplaying Sir Lewis Hamilton at Imola for those Grand Prix, but we're talking later on in the season, all right? Later on, maybe Texas or something. Who knows? Because I don't think, I don't see Mercedes having their issues sorted for Barcelona and a few races after Barcelona. But we're talking later on in the championship, right? And so is Horner. Man, some of the quotes here, the blue flags being waved, would have added insult to injury for Hamilton, knowing the driver he battled for the World Championship last year was so far ahead of him on track. Well, would it really? Would it really? Who's written this article? Ian Parks and Ewan Gale. Well, would it really have changed anything going on for Sir Lewis Hamilton at that moment? Because I'm still of the opinion he was Sandberg was taking the piss for that Grand Prix. I am still of that opinion. It's not shifting. It is not shifting because because it would have been too easy for him to just drive past Gasly and Albon, and it would have just been too easy. Oh yes, the circuit conditions are iffy and all of that. I hear you on all that, but I have too high a standard for Sir Lewis Hamilton for him to be legitimately stuck behind P13. Addressing the moment Verstappen lapped the Mercedes, Horner said, "I think Lewis didn't have a great weekend, but we are very much focused on our race and trying to extract the maximum points." Well, yeah, you probably are focused on your race and how to extract the maximum points, but I'm pretty sure you took special note of that lapping happening. I'm pretty sure. It was obviously one of those things. Yeah, there we go. There we go. At that point, we were looking at the clouds. Was the rain going to come in the last part of the race or not? We were more focused on that. Yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that, Spice Horner. I'm not buying that. I mean, you can be, two things can be true at the same time. You can be focused on the rain and you can also be gassed that you've just lapped Sir Lewis Hamilton. I ain't gonna judge you for it, Horner. I ain't gonna judge you for it. I understand. It's I remember when Michael Schumacher got lapped by Alonso in Hungary. Oh, it was the talk of the town. What year was that? 06 or something? Anyway, it was the talk of the town. Maybe it was 05. Regardless. That was the talk of the town. Oh my God, Alonso has just lapped Michael Schumacher. Like, that was the talk of the town. Of course. Of course, a driver lapping a more complete 7-time world champion in Sir Lewis Hamilton, that's going to be the talk of the town. That was probably the talk of the pit wall for at least like 2 laps. Oh, I can't believe. I mean, even 2 laps prior to it. Oh my God, we're about to lap Sir Lewis Hamilton. I can't believe it. Are they really that bad? I mean, George Russell's in 4th. Are they really that bad? Well, maybe he'll pick up the pace when we get up behind him and we'll just drive past No. There's a statement to be made. Forget about driving past Gasly. There's a statement to be made. And that statement was made while you men are jeering, lapping a car like, yeah, okay. But Horner, you're right to recognize, Horner will indeed become a factor despite his struggles. Yes, he will indeed become a factor in this championship despite his struggles, especially late season with any interference that Mercedes are going to run in this championship. They're not going to run even accidental. They're not going to even run accidental interference on behalf of Red Bull. Oh yeah, it's gonna be like that. They're not even gonna run accidental interference for these men. Not even. Everything will be calculated, and now you're gonna have resurgent Mercedes, whose only mission is to see the club made champion instead of your guy Verstappen. That will be their only mission. And at that point, who knows what actually happens? Who knows? Anyway, peace.
Hell breezy. Let me show you how to keep the dice rolling when you're doing that thing over there, homie. Hey, let's go! Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling like I gotta get away. Better know that I don't and I won't ever stop. Cause you know I gotta win every day. Go! See, you really wanna pop me. Go! Just know that you will never flop me. And I know that I gotta be a little cocky. Go! You ain't never gonna stop me. Every time I come, a nigga gotta set it, then I gotta go, and then I gotta get it, then I gotta blow, and then I gotta shut it. Any little thing a nigga think that he be doing, cause it doesn't matter, cause I'm gonna dead it. Then I'm gonna murder everything and anything about it. Boom, about a bing. I gotta do a lot of things to make it clearer to a couple niggas that I always win, and then I gotta get it again and again and again. And I be doing it to death, and now I move a little foul. Nigga better call a rap, and everybody know my style. Niggas know that I'm the best when it comes to doing this, and I be banging on my chest, and I'm banging in the east, and I'm banging in the west, and I kinda give you more, and I will never give you less. You will hear it in the street, and you can read it in the press. Do you really wanna know what's next? Let's go. See the way we on it, and we all up in the race, and you know we gotta go now, try to keep up with the pace, and we struggling and hustling and set it, and I get it, and we always gotta do it, take it to another place, gotta taste it, and I gotta grab it, and I gotta cut all through this traffic just to